Well, cast your mind back to February last year and you may remember the excitement when NASA successfully landed its Perseverance rover on Mars.
Perseverance can find evidence of ancient life on Mars, and NASA scientists call that process 7 minutes of terror.
Confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the signs of past life.
You're landing on Mars right in the thick of the action. That's exactly what the Perseverance rover experienced during the heart-stopping 7 minutes of terror. Meanwhile, the Curiosity rover, our old friend from 2012, has been hard at work, sending back loads of data and stunning 4K snapshots of Mars. But what if they find something unbelievable hidden beneath Mars' surface? Let's uncover what shocking secrets these rovers might reveal next on the Red Planet. Mars through the eyes of rovers. One of the most memorable moments captured by the Perseverance rover was its thrilling landing on Mars, often called the 7 minutes of terror. For the first time, we could clearly see a rover's entire journey as it entered Mars's atmosphere and finally touched down on the rocky surface. As the dust settled, an unexpected shadow appeared on the horizon, hinting at a mystery yet to be unraveled. On the other hand, the Curiosity rover has been on Mars since 2012, working hard to send back important scientific data and fascinating images. Even though its cameras aren't as advanced as those on Perseverance, Curiosity has still managed to capture stunning 4K videos, especially of Mount Sharp, the central feature inside Gale Crater. These images have been crucial for scientists to understand Mars' geological history, revealing evidence that water once flowed across the Martian surface. But that's not all. Curiosity's continuous stream of data and images has not only expanded our knowledge of Mars, but has also kept the public intrigued by its ongoing mission. Both Perseverance and Curiosity are playing key roles in helping us understand the environmental and atmospheric conditions of Mars, providing insights that are both scientifically important and visually stunning. Yet, the story doesn't end here. There's still much more to discover as these rovers continue their incredible journey on the Red Planet. The work done by the Curiosity rover has played a crucial role in paving the way for the discoveries made by the Perseverance rover. Together, these two space explorers are helping us understand more about Mars's past and the possibility that it might have once supported life. The detailed images from both rovers have uncovered significant scientific insights. The pictures taken by Perseverance suggest that the rocks in Gale Crater were likely formed by ancient lava flows that mixed with water over long periods. This finding is important for understanding Mars' geological history and its past water, which could mean the planet had conditions suitable for life a long time ago. Moreover, both rovers have found organic compounds in Martian rocks. This discovery has excited scientists about the possibility that life might have existed on Mars in the past. These organic materials, captured in high-quality images, are now a key focus of ongoing research. This is especially important for the upcoming Mars Sample Return mission, which aims to bring back Martian soil samples to Earth for a more detailed study. But that's not the most intriguing part. Scientists believe that these discoveries are just the beginning, and what comes next could be even more exciting. NASA has used incredibly clear videos and images to grab people's attention like never before. The stunning pictures of Mars have been shared widely on social media, in schools, and through NASA's own channels. This has allowed people from all over the world to feel as if they are actually walking on Mars themselves. Looking ahead, the data and images collected by the Perseverance and Curiosity rovers will be crucial in planning future space missions, especially those that might involve sending humans to explore Mars. Mapping and studying Mars in detail are key steps toward the bold goal of landing astronauts on the planet, which could happen in the next 20 years. Let's see how modern missions are unlocking Mars' secrets. A new chapter in space exploration. The high-quality footage sent back by NASA's Perseverance and Curiosity rovers is more than just a display of advanced technology. It represents a major leap in our understanding of Mars. These visuals have completely changed how we see the red planet and have greatly expanded our knowledge. They are not just important for scientists. They continue to inspire and excite people all around the world as we prepare for a new era in space exploration. This ongoing journey will help us learn more and push our limits in the vast universe. But that's not all. This mission is just the beginning of an exciting new phase in our quest to explore space. As we gather more information, our plans and dreams for Mars will continue to grow, taking us closer to the ultimate goal of human exploration of the red planet. In ancient times, around the 2nd millennium BC, early skywatchers noticed something unusual in the night sky. They saw 5 celestial bodies that didn't stay in the same place like the stars. These early astronomers, especially those from Greece, called these moving objects planets, which means wanderers in their language. These observations led many ancient cultures to believe that these wandering planets were divine beings. The Romans, for example, associated Mars, with its striking red color, with their god of war. As the years went by, the way people viewed Mars changed dramatically. What was once seen as a god became the subject of wild theories about life on Mars. This shift started in 1877 when an Italian astronomer named Giovanni Schiaparelli reported seeing straight lines on Mars. This sparked a lot of excitement and speculation about the possibility of intelligent life on the planet. The idea of advanced Martians captured the public's imagination and was widely covered in newspapers and books, remaining popular even as space exploration began. Between 1960 and 1962, the Soviet Union made several attempts to reach Mars, but all 5 of their missions failed. The United States also faced challenges. Their first Mars mission, Mariner 3, failed in 1964. But things turned around 3 weeks later when NASA successfully launched Mariner 4. This mission made history by reaching Mars on July 14, 1965. Mariner 4 took the first close-up pictures of Mars, sending back 22 images that gave Earth its first detailed look at the Martian landscape. However, these images and the data Mariner 4 collected showed a much thinner atmosphere than expected, no magnetic field or radiation belts, and no signs of surface water. This news greatly reduced hopes of finding advanced life on Mars. Just 2 days after Mariner 4's launch, the Soviet Union tried again with Zond 2, but it lost contact and failed, adding to their list of unsuccessful attempts. NASA kept pushing forward, launching Mariner 6 and Mariner 7 in early 1969. These missions also did flybys of Mars and succeeded, sending back a wealth of data, including 201 images that covered about 20% of Mars' surface. These new images disproved the old idea of canals on Mars, further disappointing those who hoped for signs of life. However, traces of water found by these missions kept the hope alive that life might still be possible. From early failures to exciting successes, Mars missions show how far we've come. Mars' elusive frontiers. During the same period, the Soviet Union continued to struggle. Their next missions in 1969 and 1971 also failed. But in May 1971, their persistence paid off. They successfully launched twin probes, Mars 2 and Mars 3, each with an orbiter and a lander, marking a significant step forward in Mars exploration. Both Mars orbiters worked well and sent back 60 images, showing mountains as tall as 22 kilometers. They also recorded temperatures ranging from a very cold -110 degrees Celsius to a milder 13 degrees Celsius. These orbiters are likely still orbiting Mars today, but things didn't go as smoothly for the Mars 2 and Mars 3 landers. Around the same time, NASA launched 2 orbiters, Mariner 8 and Mariner 9. While Mariner 8 failed, Mariner 9 succeeded and became the first spacecraft to orbit another planet. When it arrived at Mars, it ran into a massive dust storm that covered the entire planet, which delayed its ability to take photos. Eventually, it sent back over 7,000 images, revealing ancient riverbeds, huge canyons, and massive volcanoes like Olympus Mons. In 1973, the Soviet Union made another attempt with Mars 4, 5, 6, and 7. Unfortunately, most of these missions didn't succeed, but Mars 5 did manage to send back 180 images before a tiny meteor likely hit it. After these attempts, the Soviet Union took a break from Mars missions for 15 years. But the story gets more interesting with NASA's Viking missions in 1975, which were a big success. Both Viking missions had an orbiter and a lander. The Viking 1 orbiter created a detailed map of Mars, while the Viking 2 orbiter sent back almost 16,000 images. Viking 1's lander provided the first panoramic view from Mars's surface. These landers also studied the Martian climate and soil, which was mainly made of iron-rich clay, and conducted experiments to look for signs of life. However, they didn't find any living microorganisms. After the Viking missions, there was a long pause in Mars missions until 1988, when the Soviet Union launched Phobos 1 and 2. Phobos 1 didn't make it, but Phobos 2 managed to send back 37 images before losing contact. On Phobos, one of Mars's moons, the Soviet Union made its last attempts to explore Mars, wrapping up a total of 20 missions over 28 years. This large number alone shows how committed they were to exploring Mars. On the other hand, NASA jumped back into Mars exploration in 1992 with the launch of the Mars Observer Orbiter. Unfortunately, they lost communication with it, ending a run of 5 successful missions in a row. Jump ahead to 1996, a year full of Mars exploration efforts. In November, NASA launched the Mars Global Surveyor Orbiter. This mission continued to collect important data for the next decade. Its main goal was to map the entire Martian surface. It found signs of ancient volcanic activity, and many gullies likely created by flowing water, suggesting that water might have been present on Mars as recently as 2001. Each new Mars mission brings us closer to understanding if the planet could have supported life. Mars and the quest for water. During that same month, Russia's space agency, Roscosmos, tried to launch the Mars 96 probe, but sadly, it failed to leave Earth's orbit. Then, in December 1996, NASA sent out the Pathfinder lander and the Sojourner rover. The Pathfinder sent back over 16,000 images and made more than 8 million measurements about Mars's atmosphere, including details on pressure, temperature, and wind speed. The Sojourner, which was the first wheeled vehicle on another planet, gathered a large amount of surface data and sent back over 2.3 billion pieces of information, along with more than 17,000 images. The excitement in the late 1990s slowed down a bit. Japan's only Mars mission, the Nozomi orbiter, launched in 1998, but unfortunately ran out of fuel before reaching the planet. In 1998 and 1999, NASA launched 3 more missions: the Mars Climate Orbiter, the Mars Polar Lander, and the Deep Space 2 probe. Sadly, all 3 missions ended in failure. But the story took a big turn in 2001 when NASA launched the Mars Odyssey orbiter. This spacecraft is still operational today and holds the record for the longest-running mission at Mars. The Odyssey orbiter made groundbreaking discoveries, such as finding vast amounts of water ice beneath the planet's polar surfaces and measuring Martian radiation levels, which is vital for planning future human missions. In the summer of 2003, the European Space Agency, ESA, entered the scene with its first planetary mission, launching the Mars Express orbiter and the Beagle 2 lander. The Mars Express mission turned out to be a huge success and is still running today. It has made major discoveries, including evidence of long periods of flowing water on Mars, significantly deepening our understanding of the Martian environment. Maps that study minerals help us understand Earth's history, while the Beagle 2 rover sadly lost contact just after landing. In the summer of 2003, NASA sent 2 rovers, Spirit and Opportunity, to Mars. These rovers were only supposed to work for 3 months, but Spirit kept going for 6 years and Opportunity for nearly 15 years. They sent back more than 200,000 images and found evidence that Mars once had conditions that could support life, such as water, warmer temperatures, and a thicker atmosphere. In 2005, NASA sent the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, which made some important discoveries, like finding out how much water is in Mars's ice caps, about 821 cubic kilometers, which is almost 3% of Antarctica's ice sheet. Then in 2007, NASA's Phoenix lander became the first to successfully land in Mars's polar region. It studied the Martian climate and searched for signs of past life. But here's the surprising part. These missions, which started as short-term projects, ended up giving us so much more than expected. They greatly expanded our knowledge of Mars and continue to spark our interest in its history and whether it could have supported life. And this wasn't the end. Each mission has paved the way for even more exciting discoveries about the Red Planet. Every discovery on Mars teaches us more about its hidden past. Exposing the Red Planet. Underground water ice on Mars was first discovered by the Odyssey spacecraft, which also noticed snow falling on the planet's surface. It also found perchlorate, a compound that some microorganisms on Earth use as food. Moving forward to 2011, 3 missions were launched to Mars. On November 8th, Russia sent the Phobos Grunt orbiter, and China embarked on its first Mars mission with the Yinghua 1 orbiter. Unfortunately, both missions failed. On the other hand, NASA's third mission in 2011 introduced the Curiosity rover, which became the first rover to drill into Martian rock to collect and study samples. Curiosity discovered important elements like sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon, suggesting that Mars might have had the ingredients necessary for life. It also measured radiation levels on Mars, finding them to be similar to those experienced by astronauts on the International Space Station. But this wasn't the most surprising part. In 2013, 2 more missions were sent to Mars. Israel launched a Mars orbiter, and India began its first mission to another planet. While India's mission was mainly a test of its technology, it also started studying the Martian atmosphere and its minerals. That same year, NASA launched the MAVEN orbiter to understand how Mars lost its atmosphere and water. MAVEN's findings showed that solar winds have played a big role in stripping away Mars's atmosphere, causing its water to slowly disappear into space. But this wasn't the only discovery. In 2016, the ExoMars program, a joint effort between the European Space Agency and Russia's Roscosmos, was launched. This program aimed to learn more about Mars's environment and investigate whether life could have existed there in the past. The Latreille Gras orbiter and the Schiaparelli EDM lander launched on March 14th. The orbiter's job is to study Mars's atmosphere and keep us updated on what it finds. Unfortunately, the Schiaparelli lander lost contact during its important landing and wasn't able to complete its mission. More recently, in May 2018, NASA sent the InSight lander to Mars. It reached the planet in November and aims to dig deep into Mars' core to help scientists understand how planets in our solar system are formed and develop. Our curiosity about Mars isn't something new. People have been fascinated by the planet since ancient times, when it was just a faint red dot in the night sky, often seen as a god. By the late 19th century, people thought they saw large canal-like structures on Mars, leading to wild ideas about advanced civilizations living there. Even though we've learned more since then, and those ideas have become more scientific, Mars is still a major focus for researchers and continues to capture the imagination of both scientists and dreamers. But this wasn't the only time Mars grabbed our attention. As our understanding of the planet grows, so does our fascination. Over the past 60 years, we've made a strong effort to explore Mars, sending 54 spacecraft to the Red Planet. But here's the surprising part. Only half of these missions, 26 to be exact, have been successful. This shows just how determined we are to learn more about Mars. And the next few years are going to be even busier, with many more missions planned. Countries like the European Union, India, China, and the United Arab Emirates are all preparing to explore Mars even further. As technology improves, our pace is picking up. SpaceX, with its cutting-edge Starship and the powerful Super Heavy rockets, is leading this new chapter. These advancements could change space travel as we know it, bringing the idea of humans walking on Mars closer to reality, maybe even within our lifetime. But this isn't the end of our journey. It's just the beginning. The momentum is building, and soon we might make groundbreaking discoveries or even establish a human presence on Mars. This ongoing mission is an important part of human history, fueled by our curiosity, technology, and the combined efforts of many nations. What do you think? Is the potential colonization of Mars worth the enormous cost and effort? Like, comment, and subscribe for more.